Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be taking you through an in-depth review on the Kyosho Premium Edition Nissan GTR. Now, Kyosho have always made very highly detailed models, and I would sometimes say that they're underestimated compared to the Auto Art models and the Auto Art Signature models. For the price point of this model, the detail that Kyosho have managed to replicate off the real GTR is outstanding. Now, throughout this review, I'll take you through the pros and the cons of this model. It's one of my favourite die-cast, fully opening models. There's a lot of amount of detail on this model car, and some aspects look extremely realistic. So firstly, let's start from the front of the model. Now you can see the headlights are done very well. The front grills are all in black mesh, which looks realistic off the real car. The badge at the front of the model is quite prominent. It's not a sticker. Kyosho have managed to replicate a metal badge and then they've attached it onto the grille. It looks very highly done by Kyosho. The lights as well are very realistic and very nicely done by Kyosho. A lot of detail in this front end of the GTR. Now, this is where some differences arise compared to an Auto Art Signature model. If you can see the engine slots on the front, just where the bonnet is, there's no black mesh in those vents that are replicating vents on the engine bay. Now, if this was an Auto Art Signature model, I'm certain they would have vents in there or some black mesh, but Kyosho have just covered it with black plastic. Still looks nice, but I don't think it's quite realistic enough. But that's probably one of my only main criticisms with this model, where Kyosho could have added some black mesh in these engine vents here to make it look a bit more realistic instead of just the black plastic. But overall, the stance of this model and the detail is outstanding. So taking you around the model again, the wheels are very nicely done by Kyosho. Take you in, you can see a lot of detail on the discs. And the calipers, you can see the Brembo calipers in kind of this gold colour on the calipers. The discs as well, with the cooling vents on the discs, look very realistic. You've got the Nissan badge in the middle, and then you've got the 5 bolts that hold the wheel in place. All nicely done by Kyosho. A lot of detail in the wheel, and I think it looks really nice, the whole stance of the wheel. The whole side profile of the model looks very nice. You've got a nice badge on the side. Coming round again on the model. Now there's a lot of detail in the interior as well, which now looking into the interior of the GTR, as you can see, hopefully Kyosho have done an amazing job in replicating loads of detail. Lots of detail in the interior. The centre dash is all nicely done. There's carbon fibre around the steering wheel. The centre console's done. You can see the GTR badge on the door seal. The seats are nicely done with the seat belt, and you can see the carpet on the footwell of the driver and the passenger. And then the pedals down at the bottom as well. Even the door seals are very realistic as well. The stitching, carbon fibre, the badge, all nicely done by Kyosho. Now, even just the whole feel of the model, like for example closing the door, it's all very nicely built. You can tell that it's built very high quality. The fit and finish of everything and the way different areas close, you can tell this model is of a higher caliber compared to other models. Now the back of the model as well, Kyosho haven't missed any details. The two badges, the Nissan badge and the GTR badge, are they're not stickers, they stick out and they look very nice on the back of the model. Then you have the huge tail lights and the spoiler. Kyosho done a great job there with the exhausts and the black mesh that's at the bottom of the rear diffuser. All nicely done by Kyosho. Yep, the boot opens up and you can see inside, there's not much detail inside, but it's all nicely carpeted by Kyosho and it's got a nice amount of detail for a boot that Kyosho have added. Just close this down and you can see the brake light underneath the spoiler, and just the whole feel of the model is very nice. You not feel like you're breaking anything or you're going to damage stuff by opening up different compartments of the model. It's one of the good things I like about Kyosho. Everything just feels very nice to open up and see the detail in. If I can open the passenger side door. Passenger side door, very realistic. You can see the air vents inside. The speaker in the door seal with the other different controls for the passenger. The badge on the door seal. Carpet on the footwell with the seats. It's all very nicely done by Kyosho. I think this model is understated, along with all Kyosho models. There's a lot of detail here for a very good price point. I think I only paid about $100, or it's about $120, $130 dollars for the model. I just think it's a lot of money, not a lot of money for a lot of the car. Now the engine bay for this model, you'd think it's just come out of a Auto Art signature model. There's a little button that you press underneath the model that releases the bonnet, and just gently you can lift up the bonnet like that, and then you can flick up the stand for it gently and then rest it on there. And now you can see what I mean by how these models resemble Auto Art signature and other high-end model cars. I mean, you can clearly see the 6-cylinder engine, the lots of detail in that engine bay that would rival higher end models. You can see the dipstick for the oil there in yellow, other hoses and mountings and details in the engine bay. It's just all very nicely done and looks extremely realistic by Kyosho. And as I said before, the whole fit and finish of this model, like the weight of this bonnet, feels very sturdy and very nice to close. You don't feel like you're breaking anything or taking anything beyond where it's supposed to go. Just close this down properly like that. It clicks down, slots back into place nicely, and that's kind of the whole model review. I think Kyosho make outstanding models for great value. They always rival Auto Art signature models, I think, and I think that these models are 10 times better than the new auto art composite models, and I would rather start collecting these old Kyosho models from their premium edition rather than going into the new auto art composite models or their new models that they're making. I think this model could rival a auto art signature model in terms of detail, and for the price that I paid for it, I'd probably say it's half the price than an auto art signature model, but it's not that far off in terms of detail and the overall quality of the model. So I hope you enjoyed a review of another opening diecast model. I haven't seen much of this model on YouTube. As I say, I think it's a bit understated. It's a lot of model for the money, and it's one of my favourite diecast models in my collection, and it's not even one of the most expensive. Don't have to pay a lot of money to get the best detailed models. Some manufacturers out there do a lot of detail for a good amount of money, and I believe that Kyosho is that manufacturer that does it. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you soon for the next one.